My name is John Brink. I'm the president, CEO, founder of Brink Forest Products Ltd. Today is October the 1st, 2025. It is exactly 50 years ago since I founded this company, Brink Forest Products, in October the 1st, 1975, at this location in Prince George, British Columbia. We're standing on what they called River Road here, and right behind us is the mill site where I started Brink Forest Products. It was a small location, and I started there with 3 employees and myself. I did all the maintenance work, I drove the forklift truck, and the idea was, how do I start a value-added manufacturing plant where I buy low-grade lumber, split it in different parts, and then upgrade it into higher products. My experience was in Holland, already started as a furniture maker, then worked in lumber manufacturing, and I had seen finger jointing, gluing things together. And I thought that potentially was an opportunity to start finger jointing. Took the short pieces like this and then glued them together with glue, which then made a solid piece. And so that did the recovery for me that justified my lumber remanufacturing plant over others. Now, 50 years later, what are we doing today? We have a variety of operations here and across the street, as well as in Vanderhoof, as well as in Houston. However, it was a struggle and a fight all the way along the way, access to fiber. We got to the point where we employed more than 400 employees here, Vanderhoof, and in Houston. And since 2017, we paid $80 million in duties alone. Today, with tariffs, markets, and all the other issues, there is not much left in the province of British Columbia in value-added manufacturing. Prince George used to have in the region about 40 plants. Now we have 3 or 4 left, and all of them, including us, wish they were out of it. That's how bad it is. I still believe in the future, but right now it's extremely difficult. So I'll take you now for a walk through our operations. Finger jointing is one of the things that we do. I showed you already earlier as to how we manufacture it. So when it comes in, usually from sawmills, like behind us are 18 to 20 truckloads, we use that in about a day. And so all different sizes, all different lengths, all different material, and just taking one of them. What we would do is this one is broken. What do we do is this one, we cut it into a 2x3 here, and so that goes there. This one would be 2x4, 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 3 2x4s out of a 2x12, and then we cut it, and so we use this wood and we cut all the defects out of it, then glue it back together. But it's only one of the products that we want to do. The other products that we do is laminating, where we glue different pieces together, or cross-laminating, where cross-laminated timber is one of the products we manufacture. And then the other part is making furniture and doing all those other things. And that's why I've been so involved with the College of New Caledonia, BCIT. How can we add more social and economic value to the resource? In 2000, I was the founding president of the BC Council of Value-Added Wood Processors, 8 associations, 800 value-added manufacturers. Different governments, right-wing as well as left-wing, have not paid much attention to value-added manufacturing. Of the 800 companies that we used to have, there is probably less than 25% remaining in British Columbia. In northern BC here, we used to have 40 value-added manufacturers, now 3 or 4, and every single one of them will not be here much longer or wish they weren't, including us. So looking behind me, you see finished products sitting all the way from here, all the way down to the other end. That is all finished finger jointed lumber, most of them going to the US market. Again, behind me, you see another part of our inventory that we have sitting on the ground. The market is a real challenge right now. Add to that 45% duties has made it very, very difficult for us to sell the lumber into the US market. It is probably the most challenging period that I've seen in my 50 years of operations. So right behind me, another element of our operations is all the lumber that we manufacture goes, pretty much all of it goes rail, on sea and rail. So what you see behind me, 1, 2, 3, 4 rail cars, and each rail car has about 110,000 board feet of lumber on it, all of it going into the United States. At one point, we used to do as many as 20 rail cars a week or 80 rail cars a month. We have the best resource in softwood lumber in the world. It's grown here in northern British Columbia. And what we are doing with it is virtually not much, other than making 2x4, 2x6, 2x8, 2x10, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, blah, blah, blah. Same spaghetti, I call it. We can do much more with it. And when my time in Holland, I spent time in Sweden, I've seen what they can do. All that potential is here. But we have to have forest policy that goes beyond the next 2 years or 4 years, every election cycle, is that we have to go to the point where we can look forward the next 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years. What will it look like? What can we do? What can we do more? We have the timber. We have the commitment from entrepreneurship and capital, but as it is today, where cutting permits are virtually impossible to get, 2 to 3 years, there is no incentive for adding more social and economic or value-added manufacturing, is that I see a future of innovative primary that likely will employ less people, smaller mills in the regions, Appurtency comes to mind, in combination with value-added manufacturers, and then the two combined is the history of what I believe is the future of British Columbia and British Columbia forest policy. We are not there at this moment. It may take another generation before we're there. Unfortunately, the entrepreneurs like me that have given everything they can for 50 years, I don't have another 40, 50 years. And so I've done all that I can possibly do. I can't do it alone. The public has to stand up and say, no more, let's make changes and let's do it now.